Hello internet people, my name is Robert. In this easy to follow ConvertKit tutorial for beginners, you will learn how to get started with ConvertKit. Then we will dive into sending one-off emails either immediately or on a certain date, or if that's not enough, I'll show you how to create email sequences and automate your emails based on your subscribers' actions and their previous preferences. And I will show you how to set up a form and add it to your website. And that way you can collect emails. And if you don't have a website, then we will also create a landing page to collect those emails. To get started, head to the description of this video and click on the first link. This is my affiliate link, and ConvertKit has a free plan, but if you at some point decide to pay for this tool, I will get a small commission at no extra cost to you. So let's start by signing up to ConvertKit, and you can just click here, sign up for free. Then enter your details, your email address and your password, and then you can sign up. Once you've signed up, you will land on this page. This is basically your dashboard. So let's start the tutorial by going to the settings section. So you click on your name here at the top and then click on settings. Here, you can skip this. You have my profile. You can also create a profile, like a creator profile, impact your email. So I'm going to go just inside the email. And this is where it gets a bit more interesting. So here, right off the bat, you can see that you have the email addresses. This is what you will, your users will see when you send out an email. You'll see from name, Robert, email address, this one. So if you want to change that, you can add another from address. So for example, here, pending, I have to go into my email and then verify that I owned the email address or the domain. So let's do that right now. So let's verify the email. I'm going to click on the button. And now the email address has been confirmed. So I can close this one and my email address, email inbox, and then refresh the page here. And now you can see confirmed. That's great. That's all we need for now. Then you can adjust the time zones here. So for example, here, I'm not in US. I am in Amsterdam. Like this. And I can select at what time the emails will be sent by default. So let's say I want it to be somewhere in the morning, something 8 a.m., 9 a.m., something like that. So this is the default settings, and don't worry, we can always override. It's just a default setting. Then you have the mailing address. We need to set this up, but the good thing is that ConvertKit provides us an address. So if you don't have like a business address that you're comfortable sharing here, don't worry, we just can click on this link. And they provide here an address that we can fill in. So let's do that like this. Now, this looks great. Like this, let's save the changes. And this, we're good. Let's go to domains. I just want to show you that here, later on, you're able to adjust your domain name. So right now, if you create a page in ConvertKit, this is the URL you'll see. And you can just change it from here, for example. Let's change it like this. Tips with Punch. Great. And if you want to set up a custom domain name, you can do it here. But for the beginning, it's not necessary. Same thing goes to the verified sending domain. This more advanced feature. And once I start sending a lot of emails, this makes more sense. Next, let's just go to Grow tab and click on subscribers. And we're going to just add ourselves as a subscriber so we can kind of monitor what's going on. So let's start by creating a subscriber. You can just click on this button, add subscriber. And first, it will ask us to create a tag because we don't have any. So I'm just going to base mine on interest. So for example, interested in YouTube course. I'm going to create the tag. And now add a single subscriber, or you can import from CSV or from another provider. Let's start by adding a single subscriber. And here you can just add the first name, then the email, like this. And you can see that the tag has been selected, and that's all right. I'm going to save it. Okay, now it added. There's some stats now since we have one subscriber, but that's kind of useless. We can scroll down. Let's create another tag, and let's say this one is, so let's save. You can see that both of those tags appear here. And next, since we already have a few tags, let's create a segment just to show you how that works. And segments are kind of collections of tags or collections of people. You can group subscribers in certain ways. This segment will be all about interested in a course. So interested in the course, I'm gonna add any, add a filter, and instead of all subscribers, I'm gonna choose here subscribe to, then tags, and I can select from here interested in affiliate marketing course and also interested in YouTube courses. So now I can target both of these groups with an email, for example. Let's say I have a discount on all my courses. This way I can target both of them. So I'm going to add the filter. Now, if matching any of the following, so subscribe to interested in affiliate marketing course or interested in YouTube course. So now this segment will target both of them. I'm just going to save the segment here. All right, it's now saved. You can see I have one segment and 2 tags. If you have other tool already and you have some subscribers there and you want to import them here, you can do that by clicking on add subscribers and then import a CSV. And what we can see now here is, you see this one? Email sending is disabled until your account has been approved. So let's click on that banner. And you can choose here, start the approval process. Take a bit of time to actually do this because they do review this. And if you just type in some random stuff, you might get declined. So I'll paste the text I already prepared like this. I'm just being truthful and just explaining what I'm going to use ConvertKit for. And then it's asking, what is your website URL? And then it's just how many subscribers you're going to import. So I'm going to select the smaller amount. I do have more, but just for this tutorial, I'm going to choose the smaller amount. And you can see that you'll hear about the approval in about 24 hours of reaching out. So let's see how it goes. Maybe they are faster than 24 hours. Next, let's create a way to collect emails automatically because adding them manually is just not sustainable. You can do that by either having your own website or creating a page in ConvertKit. You go to Grow in the menu and then select Landing Page and Forms. And if you scroll down, you have already one that's been created for you, and we're going to just create a new one. Now you get to choose if you're going to create a form, which is if you already have a website, this is a great way of collecting emails, or a landing page. I'm going to start with form because most of you already have some sort of website where you can collect, but later on I will also show how to do it for landing page. So let's just do it for form. Let's select form. And there's a few different options here. So you have inline, modal, slide in, and sticky bar. So in my case, I prefer to use the inline, but they kind of work the same way. Next, you can choose a template. So here's a few options. Yeah, I would choose something that's close to what you want to build so you have less things to do. So for example, this is quite traditional one. So an image and then some information. So I'm going to choose this one. Now, if you ever used any tools like this one where you build a page or forms, they kind of work all the same. Here, you can just click on the text and start typing, and it will change the text. And on the right-hand side, you have more settings. So for example, let's say this form is about getting a freebie. Get your free ebook. And this is the field. And I actually want to add another field. I can click on this plus. And instead of custom field, I'm going to select custom field and first name. Great. Now, I would like to have first name first. So like this, I'll drag it up here. And now I will make both of them required. The email is required anyway. So I'm going to make a first name also required. And then I'm going to style the fields a little bit. So you could change now the color, for example, to more dark like this. You see, the text is changing. You see font color. Here's the border color, and you can also change that a bit darker. I feel like it's a bit too vague there. Otherwise, I'll keep it like this. And for the text itself, I jumped quite quickly, but you have few settings here as well. So for example, if you're not happy with the size, you can just increase it here or change the color here. Then you can click on the button and you can change the background color. I would definitely change because this looks like the button is disabled. So I could now change it to, for example, let's say blue is my website color, then I would change it to this. But actually on my website, I have a bit more purple. So I'm going to change to something like this, or you can also use a hex code and just paste in your color here. Then build with ConvertKit. I'm going to disable it. And now to change the image, actually we cannot click on it, which is a bit different from other, but if you go to general styles, you can edit the background here. So I'm going to replace it. So I have here my thumbnail, like this one, the book. Now let's say the form is ready otherwise, so the design, you're happy with it. There's few settings you need to set here. You have here the general one. So after somebody subscribes, what do they see? Like, this is the text they will see after the subscription. Or you can also redirect them to some page. So for example, you could create on your website a thank you page for subscribing. I'm going to just keep it to success message like this. Then you can also select custom domains. Right now we don't have. I'm going to just select what we have and create the page URL. But to be honest, this is a form I'm not going to use for anything else. It's just going to be on my website. So this is not necessary. But you could also create like a page out of this form. Then you have the incentive. The incentive email is same as having a confirmation email. So your subscribers need to confirm that they want to sign up to your newsletter. It's like having a double opt-in. However, since I'm sending a freebie as an exchange for signing up to the form, I will keep this enabled for this tutorial because I will disguise the download link as the confirmation. This means only people that downloaded my freebie will end up on my list. If you want all people to end up on your list, then check this auto confirm new subscribers checkbox. So I'm going to keep it to this. And now after confirming redirect to, there's a URL, but actually I'm gonna let them download my free ebook. So I'm going to select download and then choose a file. And I have here YouTube Secrets PDF. And if you're curious to find out how to create a freebie, an ebook, or a guide, it's super easy with a tool called canva.com. And I have a tutorial how to do that. You'll see that tutorial in the top right corner of your screen. And then we can also edit the email content. This is the email they will receive after signing up to this form. So you can use here important and confirm your subscription, but you could make it a bit more interesting. Is like, and here you can just adjust the text to like this. And now we can adjust also the button and make it more compelling. Like this. So something like this. Please spend a bit more time than this, but this is just to show you what you can do here. And then when people click on this, they can actually just download the ebook. I'll show you how to do that in a second. And let's click on save. All right. And then one more tab, you have this advanced tab. I would just keep it at default. It's fine. This is not a problem at all. The only thing is if you want to have, if you start seeing there's a lot of spam that sign ups to your newsletter, you can also have this invisible reCAPTCHA. This will make sure that there's no robots that actually try to sign up. So I'm going to actually check that. I think that's quite useful. And then just click on save. Once you're done with everything, you can preview your pop-up here. So this is the form. And this is how it's going to also display on your website. And I'm going to exit the preview and I'm happy with everything and I'm going to publish it. Now to publish it, you get these options to embed on your website. Now you could use a WordPress plugin if you're using WordPress, but I actually just prefer using JavaScript like this one here or HTML. It's up to you which one you prefer. So I'm going to choose JavaScript, copy. Now I'm going to head to my website. So this is my website and I'm in WordPress and I'm using a page builder called Elementor. I can now search for HTML and I'll drag it here on the screen. And now I can place that code that I copied earlier and paste it in here. Now you can see that it already loaded my form. So if I update this page and then preview the changes, just need to scroll down to the bottom of this one and you see that I have this form. It looks really great. The only thing I would now change this is that it's on a white background, maybe make it gray and now I can use this to sign up. Oh, that was the name. So let's grab that and I'm going to put my name. Send me the guide. Okay, you can see now that I have the email. Here's your free ebook. And if I go inside of it, you can see that now I can download the ebook. Now you can see this be careful message shows up here, which is not a good thing. And the reason it's doing this is I'm sending it to myself. It's from the same domain name, which is also my email. So it's a bit more iffy about it. But I know it's me, so I can just click on download your ebook. And when I click on it, it just goes to the PDF, and now they can grab this ebook. For those that don't have a website, let me show you how to create a landing page. So we go to Grow, and then Landing Pages and Forms. And then we can scroll down and create a new one. And this time we're going to select Landing Page. There's a lot of different templates. You can see much more than for the forms, just because these are like standalone websites, basically. Now, I'm going to keep it simple. I have newsletter. There's a lot of options even for newsletter, but I think I'm going to go with this one. I like this layout. I'm going to choose it. And the process of building a landing page is pretty much the same as building a form. So I'm going to just skip that part now and fast forward to when I'm done. And now I can save these changes and go to settings just to finalize things here. Again, you can choose if you want what you want to do once the visitor subscribes. Then you have the domain name. In this case, I'm going to use the one from ConvertKit. And now we can give it a URL. So for example, free book, like this, add. You can see here, this is the URL for this. Incentive, again, since we're trying to get people's email address in exchange for a freebie, this is then incentive email. And here you can choose if the people, once they confirm the email, are they landing on a page or are they going to just download something? So I'm going to select download and choose a file. And I have this YouTube Secrets ebook. So I'm going to select it. And now that's how it works. You see it loaded there. Again, there's the advanced settings. So for example, if you want to have invisible reCAPTCHA and some settings if people already subscribe. You have also SEO and analytics. So for example, here you could add a title. I would just use a title that you already created. For example, get your free book. And then add a description. I'm just going to keep it simple and just add the same as my subtext. This is something, if somebody shares this page on social media, it might show up in that case. So you can also select the image like this. And this is also where you would connect to Google Analytics or Facebook and some other tools that you see here. Super useful once you get a bit more advanced. Once you're done with everything, you can click on Save. And let's click again on Save and then Publish. Now you can share this on Facebook or Twitter, but I'm just going to copy this one. And let's go and see how it looks like. So you can see that it is now, it's just a web page. So you can now share this page anywhere. You can use YouTube or TikTok. And once they come here, people can sign up and get their free ebook. Okay, now that we have a way of actually getting subscribers automatically, now we need to start sending emails as well, right? So let's go into send and let's start with broadcast. That's like a one-time email. So let's click here on plus new broadcast. Let's add a subject line and just add some content. This is where you write the body of the email. I'm gonna already prepared something, just added some text here. I have a YouTube video here as well. And then there's the unsubscribe button. This is mandatory, so you cannot even remove it. And if you are using the paid account of ConvertKit, then you can get rid of this one as well. So you can preview the email. You can see it here. Preview. Like this. This looks how it would look like. All right. Now it looks pretty much the same as here. Anyway, let's click on continue. And now we're going to set from address, but we only have one. So I'm going to keep it as this. So now we can select the subscribers. Well, this is about 5 days of being natural on camera. So I can now choose from here all not all subscribers. I actually want with the tag. So subscribe to, then you have tags, and then the tag will be interested in YouTube course. And since I have also the other one, YouTube course, so both of these, I want to send the email to these people. Add filter, and now this these are the criteria that it's gonna use to send this email. You can choose when to send it. You can choose that to schedule it. For example, well, it's Friday evening. Maybe that's not the best time. I'm gonna send it in the morning of on Monday. Let's make it a bit later than 1 a.m. So let's say at 9:45, you'll send it out. If you want, you can add also this preview text. This shows up in the email inbox. So when you have a list of emails, this is the text that will show up after the subject line. Otherwise, the beginning of the email will show up. Then click on continue. Ready to send this to your subscribers? Yes, I'm sending it as this. You're just checking that everything is in order and schedule a broadcast. All right, congratulations, blah, blah, blah. You are now sending this email. This is the first email we're sending, and it will go out queued for October 10th, 9:45. So that's how easy it is to start sending emails with ConvertKit. So let's go back to dashboard. Now let's do some a bit more advanced stuff. And for that, we will use Automate and the visual automations. But actually before that, we have to go to send and create sequences. And if you ever use automation in other platforms, this ConvertKit works a bit differently. You first create sequences of emails, and then you can put those sequences into automation. So here, let's click on New Sequence. And you can choose if you want to use a template or just text only. I'm going to use text only just to keep it simple. So we can give this sequence a name. Next, let's write the subject line. And then you would just write the email body text itself. You would update this. I'm just going to delete some. Just add the text you want. And once you're done with everything, you could now set when this email will be sent. So for example, send email after 1 day. You could say also immediately. So it sends it out immediately within the sequence. Not immediately like if you publish it now, it will send it, but immediately in the sequence. So I'm going to select 0. And then here on the right, you see emails. So this is the sequence itself. So I can add more emails to the sequence I'm pressing here. So for example, so I'm going to delete the last one. I just wanted 3 emails in this sequence. So you have the first one, then you have second email, and the third one. Like this, you can see them here. And if I go to the second email, I can now adjust when to send this email. So after 1 day, let's say actually after 2 days, I wanted to send out, and I want to skip the weekends because I don't want people to get bothered by these on weekends. Maybe it's more professional. So you can select here if there's certain days you want to skip. Then if we go into the third email, we can do the same. Choose 2 days like this. And again, you would obviously update the emails to your liking. If you want to get a bit more advanced, you can also add some exclusions here. I'm not going to touch on that. I don't think you need it in the beginning. So if everything looks good, you can publish this sequence like this. So now you see here, they're all published. And one thing I forgot to add here. So I'm going to just choose any of the emails. You should add something like this to all of them. But basically, you probably want them to click on something like seeing a video on YouTube or somewhere else. Read an article. In that case, let's say it's a link like this, YouTube link, and you can create it and make it to a link. And now you would add your YouTube or your website. And now you can select here, tag subscribers who click on this link. Now you can give a certain tag to them. Now, interested in YouTube course maybe is not right. You could also say something YouTube course in this case, or clicked on YouTube course. You could create a new tag. I'm going to choose the YouTube course now. because I'll show you why this is important. So YouTube course. Let me quickly just create another sequence. Cool, we have now 2 sequences. So if we go now from here, click on automation, visual automations, and this is where we can actually create something interesting around with the sequences. Let's click on new automation. I'm going to use an empty automation, but once you get started and you understand a little bit how the automations work, you can use one of the templates. It's just makes it a bit easier for you. So let's start from scratch. And now we can start doing our first automations. We need to choose when this automation starts. So for example, when somebody joins a form or added to a tag, do something with a custom field, or somebody made a purchase. In this case, it joins a form, and I want to have the Charlotte form, which is my form that is on my website. I should have renamed it, made it a bit more clear. And speaking of renaming, let's give this automation a name like this. Joins a form and Charlotte form and add event. Now you see I created this. Next step, we actually just going to add this person to a tag. So add or remove a tag. Everybody who signs up through this form, I want to tag them. So these people are interested in the YouTube course. So I'm going to select that. And I'm going to add action. So after they sign up, we add a tag to them. And then we're going to wait for a few days. So I'm going to choose delay. Delay for a number of days. And now we can choose how many days we have delays. And we do this so that because we just send out them the free ebook, you don't want to send them immediately new emails. So I'm going to just set this to 2 days. And after 2 days, so you see 2 days, it waits. And then we're going to trigger email sequence. Now we can choose the email sequence. So welcome sequence, add action. So you see now this welcome sequence is triggered. After the welcome sequence, we can now trigger, we could trigger just the other email sequence, which was sales, but that's kind of boring. We're going to add a condition. And in this case, a tag. So if they get this tag, YouTube course, remember that's the tag we added in the sequence. And the way you get this tag is by clicking on that link in the sequence. That's why it's important to make that tag unique. So then you can say, okay, if somebody has this tag, that means they came from that email or they clicked on the link in the email. So it just means they are interested in the course. So if they click on the link, they get this tag. You see, YouTube course. I'll add that one there. Now, if they click on that, then you can create a certain sequence for them. If they didn't click, you could, for example, unsubscribe the users because they're not really being engaged, or do something else. So let's try the yes one. So if they click on the email, then we're gonna trigger a new email sequence. In this case, it will be the YouTube course sequence, the sales sequence, basically. You can see it like this. Now the sequence will run, and then we could also add more conditions or actions based on that. So as mentioned here, for no, we can add, for example, unsubscribe, add action. That's quite, maybe that's quite rough to unsubscribe them, but that is one option you can do. And once you're done, don't forget to set it live by clicking on this toggle button. Starting an email newsletter from scratch is really hard. That's why I made this video right here, where I will tell you how to avoid email marketing mistakes that can cost you hundreds of subscribers, especially when you are starting out.